Right then, this is a quick walk around video on a bit of a windy day, I'm afraid. This is for a Honda HR-V 1.6 SE diesel. Really lovely car, finished in grey with these extra additional little bits, trims at the bottom of the side of the car and the front and rear as well. Really helps the car in terms of its stance and look. Front of the car is really clean, lights and lenses there, clear and intact. Front bumper, very clean indeed. Likewise, bonnet, can't see any obvious stone chips on there of any note. Near side of the car, lovely and smooth in the panel work, very clean looks like. So try not to talk too much because the wind's picking up now and again. We're going to come around the back, you can see the silver trim on the lower section below the bumper. That's the sort of additional kit you get on these. And then around to the offside, which is again very smooth indeed. So externally at least, the car again looks very, very nice indeed. Coming to the boot area, absolutely enormous boots. And beautifully finished actually as well, and rare for an HR-V because they're normally heavily used as family cars. That's in fantastic condition back there. Coming to the back of the car now, absolutely tons of leg room, again in really, really fantastic condition. And you do have the magic seats here, so they do fold up vertically as well. Coming to the front of the passenger side, again all very, very, very clean and tidy. Finally, driver's door card, again nice and clean, but whatever is all very good. So inside the car now, as always, engine's running, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard, really nice modern looking design. Sat nav, you can see they're working perfectly. Dual zone climate control, but it just looks absolutely fantastic in here. Come up to the main dash binnacle. Hopefully you can see 67,841 miles, and the only light on is for low fuel. There's no warning lights on the car at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda HR-V, and it's the 1.6 SE Navigator. This particular car is registered, if I can read it, I should always prepare this more thoroughly, KE65XCV, and with a mileage of 67,831 recorded. The reason for all of our videos is basically to ensure that if anyone's online, they actually get to see the cars we're advertising in operation. The reason we feel it's important is because, like so many people, so that's just the fuel light pinging on, we've been to see too many cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs, only to get there and find out there's a fundamental issue which obviously we'd much rather known about before setting off, so hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads very close to our premises. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the good reason for that, it's hopefully then it'll be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, it's been very well looked after, quite clearly, just drives incredibly solidly on the road. Engine starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all, aside from the fuel light that's just popped on, relating to the engine or any other part of the car. The engines are simply brilliant diesel engines. They do all the things you want a diesel to do very well indeed. It's typically Honda, strong, reliable, robust, long-lasting, but it's also just a lovely engine to use day in, day out. It's quiet and smooth on the move, especially so at a cruise. It's very, very quiet indeed, but it picks up very smoothly. It's got a lovely power delivery which goes through the whole of the rev range. It doesn't sort of die away or it's sluggish to get going, it's up and going straight away. And fuel economy is astonishing on them. They are, it's one of these cars, they say in lots of videos, there's some cars you get in, they always seem to struggle to get anywhere near what the manufacturers say. And others, they're good on fuel, but you just got to nurse them. These, obviously you should drive them economically, but it just seems to come relatively easily to the car. Fantastic engine, really, really is. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, absolutely perfect. Bite points exactly where it's meant to be, and it's lovely and smooth in operation. The gearbox, 6-speed gearbox, of course, and it is an object lesson to other manufacturers and just how to do these things right. It is a fantastic gearbox, short and throw, wonderfully sort of snappy in its engagement. It's got it just feels like they've put a lot of effort into making it feel nice, whereas so many other manufacturers seem to think that you sell an SUV and they give you kind of a truck-like gearbox which is kind of vague or lifeless or long throw. This is just really satisfying to use, and that feels pretty much as it would have done when it was new. It's as tight as anything. It's incredibly well engineered. So coming to the steering on the car, very nice on the vehicle again. It's very well weighted. It's not overlight, which I hate in cars. It makes the car feel very secure and solid on the road, but it's, you go through corners, it's millimetre perfect in terms of accuracy. It also tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or anything up to the legal limit actually, but it's a really nice power steering system. When you go through corners like the one in front here, as you turn in, pick your spot, it follows absolutely faithfully with a lovely feel to the steering. It's hard to put into words actually, and the chassis is all part of that actually, because it's all intrinsically linked, of course. When you go through corners, you don't get that kind of lurching and lolloping you can get in some cars. Corner is relatively flat, yet still that has an incredibly comfortable and compliant ride. They've done a really brilliant job on this car. They really have. There's no nasty noises, by the way, coming from underneath the car that shouldn't be there. I'm always listening out for those on road test. As I said, the whole car feels just so, typical of a Honda, just so tight on the road, it's ridiculous. So I'm just going to get up to speed and give the brakes a little bit of a thump. Too fast past these horses a second. Grand looking things, aren't they? Right, let's get up to speed and just make sure no one's directly behind. Just going to give them a good old thump. Wow, they're really, really good. Enough to get the hazard lights to come on, which they're meant to do when you heavy brake on the car, or brake heavily rather on the car. Yeah, lovely initial bite, no pulsing, no vibrations, absolutely perfect. It's finally coming inside the car. Again, it still feels quite modern in here actually, by even by today's standards. First thing you're very well aware of when you get in any Honda car, of course, they're beautifully put together. There's no squeaks, there's no rattles. It just feels very, very solid indeed. Really good visibility out of the car as well. Yeah, you feel very confident as soon as you get into the car to drive. Very natural driving position. Everything just feels, spacious but intimate at the same time. It's just the whole feel, the labelling, the piano black plastics here, just all sort of quite really nicely done, very tastefully done as well. And legal limits here, very quiet in here as well. Sat nav, as you can see, working absolutely perfectly. Dual zone climate control, so you can have different temperatures side to side. Pumps out absolutely ice cold air, by the way, so all working exactly as it should. Dash binnacle in front, again, really nice dials and labelling that they do on there. It's just sorry, just going to sidetrack because the car coming the other way is a chap I sold to a car, which is it's good to see on the road. That car's done nearly 200,000 miles. Another Honda, bizarrely enough. There we are. I digress. It's just really nicely finished and detailed. It's kind of minimalist in a way. The kind of floating dials look really good in there. Steering wheel, lovely kind of leather bound affair. Shows virtually no wear on it at all. The whole interior is in very, very good condition, I have to say. As I said at the start of the video, the point, brief as it might well be, is just to show the car operating, and feedback on anything of which is nothing. It drives absolutely as tight as a drum, perfectly, can't fault it. As always though, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.